In 4 months, we will know which teams are leaving the Big 12 and joining the Big 12 in expansion. I'm not telling you that. The U.S. government is telling you that. Oh, and by the way, Cody Stovall has a message for Iowa State's football coach's wife. This is the Dose Grande Squad.
You're talking ball with the Big 12 squad. From Oklahoma State to Utah, from Kansas State to BYU, from Houston to Texas Tech, it's the local experts of the Locked On Podcast Network bringing you scoops, breakdowns, and the most comprehensive preview of the upcoming Big 12 weekend. Buckle up. It's the Big 12 squad, and we have a seat for you. No hurt feelings and thin skin allowed. Squad up. You're part of the Big 12 squad.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the Dose Grande Squad. There's Cody Stovall of Locked On Oklahoma State. Why not? Alongside Parker Ainsworth, Locked On Cougs. Jeff Bezos of Locked On Utes.
No.
Whoa. Guy goes bald one time. Starts to call names. Drake Toll with you from Locked On Big 12. Happy Thursday again, everybody. Thanks for making our shows your first listen every single day. We're breaking down the latest in the Protect College Sports Act, because that's what we do. Spread information. We spread love and information on the Big 12 squad every week. So here's the context you need to know. Here's the latest you need to know. The Protect College Sports Act very likely goes through in September. Now we've enticed the president. Not political at all, but he does seem to like shiny things. You wave the keys, he's like, I like those keys. And he's been waved the keys of signing this bill on College game day. You know he wants to do that and will push to ensure that this bill goes through. I foresee September's when the bill goes through. There's a lot of good things in here. One of the addendums that has been added is schools will have 180 days to shuffle, to realign, to go to different conferences if they want to without penalty. That is going to throw us into chaos. Clemson, Florida State, Miami, the Utah Utes will go to the SEC. Surely that's what they want. That's what I've been hearing my sources out of
Big Ten?
Yeah, the Big Ten is going to be mad at you,
no. Mark Harlan called me yesterday.
Oh, my gosh.
We're going to the SEC.
No, 7 minutes before the show. That's the last time.
No.
So, Drake, correct me if I'm wrong here. This is all a gigantic overcorrection from, like, the previous rule was going to be too hard to change conferences. And now it's me like, hey, let's just change conferences right now. Like the previous rule was going to be you have to be independent or something like that for a period of time. And then from there, you could change into a conference if you're going to go power to power. And now it just is going to go, oh, we're just all going to change right now and just lock it into place for a little while. That's the solution here.
So it's very good to add some context to this. Originally, you had to sit 5 years in independence if you wanted to leave your power conference to go to a different power conference. So Clemson would have been independent for 5 seasons. They can have all the money in the world. It's still so tough to support yourself. TV deal wise. I mean, there's so many ins and outs of how you would do this as an independent for 5 seasons. It wouldn't work. It would not. You can't facilitate that if you're Clemson or Florida State. And so they pushed back on this part of the legislation. Lawmakers go in like, okay, fine, we'll change it. We'll give you 180 days after we sign this to go. So it went from, oh, damn, Stanford's locked into a conference with Virginia Tech and Syracuse to, wait a second, now tomorrow everyone's going to be able to jump, change, shift, move, and they need to do it quickly. This is all going to happen leagues are probably, or teams are probably saving up money as we speak to leave their respective leagues, and leagues are going to do everything they can legally to ensure that those schools can't get out and have to stay. The race is on. The clock effectively starts now, and then when the bill is signed, that 180 days really begins.
Let them go. Who gives a flying flip anymore? Like, this is it's all gotten so absolutely ridiculous. If Utah wants to go be part of the Pac-2.5 again, yeah, they should do it. All right. If anybody if Kansas wants to go be part of the Big Ten and be part of the illustrious, academic institutions, they should just go do it. I'm so tired of having these debates all the time about what teams can we keep and what teams should stay and shouldn't stay. I'm over it. I'm over it. Bring the Big 8 back. I don't give a flip.
I don't disagree on teams leaving with Kodnar here. Kodnar, what's that name there? That's
Kodnar Lothbrok.
Yeah, which is Cody for short. I think on the teams that leave, though, I think that's fair. I'm way more interested, though, on can I get some of that Virginia Tech action? Because it feels like that's where I get interested very quickly.
Yeah.
Wait a second here, like who can we pull in a North Carolina or a basketball school here? Can we pull in North Carolina and Duke? Like what's that looking like? You know, like that's where I get excited about this. Actually, if they want to leave, flip them. Right? I think that's fine.
Drake, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't there a cap on how many teams each league can add though of 20?
Yeah, it's still 19,
19, right?
Yeah,
it's
that's
19.
tough.
It was previously exactly set up for you to be independent and leagues were capped at 19. It was exactly set up for Notre Dame to pick a conference. That was the shtick. That was the whole thing. And we blew it all up just to make sure someone else could move around, I guess.
That's going to be really tough for Utah Tech or BYU to go then. I think they're further down the list on that.
To Cody's point here, though, what this does is once I'm going to try to be PC.
That was my point, Greg. That was my point.
What this does is it makes me want to jump off of a second floor of a building. So I'm not that hurt, but I'm hurt. Like I'm done. Like I've got maybe a broken ankle. There's so much fatigue around this conversation for the last few years. But the good side, here's the good side. Here's why I like this. Here's what we're talking about. This it helps me. It's therapeutic. Now we can finally get Stanford away. Like the goal would be Stanford, Cal. We can take them out of the ACC and put them in the Pac-12 or something. Like I cannot. Okay. If you're going to protect college sports, we cannot allow Stanford to be in the same conference as Syracuse. I can't keep doing this. Someone's got to reverse it back to what it used to be.
So they're going to kick them out. You think they're going to do that?
I don't know. Here's what's going to happen. Here's my theory, if I can. Clemson, Florida State, Miami all leave for the Big Ten or the SEC. At that point, maybe the SEC is like, 19's the cap. Let's go grab North Carolina. Let's go grab, they may open the conversation of some of these bigger schools or bigger brands, Jordan Brand. Maybe they don't. What the Big 12 will do, they'll hunt Virginia Tech. They'll hunt Pitt. They'll hunt Louisville. They'll hunt whoever they can get, Georgia Tech if they can get them. And from there, I think the Stanfords and Cals of the world see that, oh, shoot, the ACC's imploding. We need a life raft. That life raft becomes, welcome back, Pac-12. Yeah.
Outside of me throwing my massive hissy fit, I will agree with you guys that if this equals us getting the Virginia Techs and Pitts and Louisvilles of the world, I'm all for it. And also, numerically speaking, the Big 12 is in a fairly advantageous position because the Big 10 and the SEC are pretty much capped out, right? They can add a team or something to that effect. But we numerically have a little bit of an advantage here. My thing is, I'm so tired of waking up and seeing fans from the Big 12 saying, this is our opportunity to finally get in the Big 10.
No, I don't.
I'm talking to you, JT Diesel.
I like that one.
Nick is nodding along, but I think that the real trick here is that if the ACC loses the three schools you just talked about and one or two more schools to the Pac 2.5 or whatever, suddenly there's not a whole lot left. And Notre Dame, right, like for non-football sports is also an ACC school, so they joined the Big Ten. They probably the ACC gets really diluted and thin really fast. I wonder if this spirals bigger than how small can they really get financially and literally before something bad happens, and can we scoop up pieces there, right? That's where my head goes in this whole thing.
So to answer your question a little bit here, their grant of rights expires. They drop below 14 teams. They're at 17 right now.
Okay.
Full-time members. Yep. So they lose the fourth team. They lose Clemson, Florida State, Miami, and then XYZ somebody else. Then they're up creek. Yep.
Those really quick. Hey, those schools still got to have more value than the Pac-12. I mean, we're talking about a conference that didn't have a media day. A media day because it was too much money. I still got to believe those brands still have more power than a Cal and a Stanford going off to the Pac-12. I still think it's more likely they stay together.
I don't like them, by the way. I don't even. I hope Cal and Stanford. I want to put them on their own little island.
That clear.
They can play in the People's Republic of North Korea. They can have their own little football league over there. They'll play each other for 12 games every year. Cal and Stanford, because they hated the religious schools. When when Big 12 schools wanted to life raft the Pac-12, they're like, no, you love God and Jesus. We hate you. I was like, whoa, what the hell's that all about, man? What's going on here? That's Cal and Stanford.
I'll put a little button on this thing, JT. The reason that I am so animated about this conversation is because I want the Big 12 to be successful. And I think we finally just got a good, solid foundation, even though there has been a couple fan bases talking about wanting to leave. But I feel like we're in a good position right now, and I would like to see this version of the Big 12 be the one that continues to grow. I just don't want to have a conversation about Utah or KU or Arizona State or Tech or anybody leaving the conference when it's at a pretty good position.
Cody, you're always animated. If you weren't animated, I'd be concerned.
Be a problem.
Fair play.
When we come back, two great things, two pieces of news. Number one, Mountaineer Paul joins the show.
Hey.
Yeah. Number two, Cody Stovall has a message for Jimmy Rogers, the Iowa State head coach, for Jimmy Rogers' wife. That's up next on Dos Grande Squad. Hey, today's show is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. FanDuel is exactly where I go during the Major League Baseball season. Baseball fans, if you think you know who's hitting a home run today, FanDuel is giving you a free chance to call your shot with daily dingers. Easy to play. Make your free pick, Shohei Ohtani. Who you think will hit a home run, Shohei Ohtani. In their game, Shohei Ohtani. Best of all, make a free pick every day throughout the MLB season. If you win, you receive a profit boost to use in your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. Daily Dingers is another fun way to stay engaged with every day's game. Whether you're following your favorite team or keeping an eye on matchups across the league, every game has someone capable of going deep. Now you get the chance to make your prediction before first pitch. I'm wearing the hoodie today, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. One of my friends, Nolan Shotwell, first baseman, the Angels. Does he hit a lot of home runs? More than me. So that's saying something. But I'm like, hey, it's my buddy Nolan. I go on FanDuel every day. Nolan Shotwell home run. Nolan Shotwell home run. Hey, does it always hit? No, nobody's going to always hit. What it does, bang, chance for a profit boost. So play your game today. Join at FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com to play your daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of MLB. They're our friends at FanDuel. Cody, your message to a head coach's wife, please.
I mean, listen, I'm not an expert in the marital category, but I am fairly certain that honesty is a pretty decent policy. When your dude is sitting up there saying that they're going to win the Big 12, how delusional can that be? Or how dishonest can that be? You lying ass, fake ass, ain't going to win the Big 12 in year one ass coach getting up there talking about proudly how you did vote your team first place when you're probably going to be competing for the basement. Listen, I'm okay with you saying that your team's going to be great and you got to have faith. You got to believe. I'm with it, but don't get up here and lie to everybody. How can anybody on that roster or in his living room understand the difference between him lying and being honest if he's willing to put this crapola out there?
So without knowing anything about his wife.
Context here, if I may, by the way, just for a second.
Just a little.
Jimmy Rogers, new head coach, Iowa State, told reporters in Ames this week that he was the one who picked the Cyclones in an on3.com anonymous coaches poll to make the Big 12 championship game. This is per foxsports.com. That's the context. Cody's calling him a liar, saying that his wife should heed the warnings because this is bad.
I actually think this is the classic, like when your wife says, "How do I look in this?" Like, this is exactly that. This is a married for a long time kind of man. Actually, now whether or not his, actually thinks that I was going to win the Big 12 or not, but when you ask him, he's like, "Yeah, we are." Like that. That's actually what I see.
Yeah, but Parker, in your same analogy, there's a difference in saying, "Yeah, honey, awesome," and in between saying, "You know what? You look better than Angelina Jolie right now," and that's basically what he did. He just called his team the prime Angelina Jolie of the Big 12, and it's absolutely insanity. Again, if he were to come in and say, "I think we're good enough to be top 3 right away," respectable, commendable, I'm with that. But to be the one that voted first place, it proves to me that this guy is not only delusional, but he's fake as all get out.
Well, and this is where it's so.
Jolie.
But
Cody's making no friends. By the way, Angelina Jolie was hot like 15 years ago. I don't know what's going on.
I said prime.
Okay, yeah, there are other analogies.
But that woke Paul up though.
Yeah.
Paul's here now. Paul's active.
I'm here on prime Angelina Jolie talk, and then he's
listen. I played Tomb Raider in 1999 when I was a kid once.
Cody's made no friends for the Iowa State folks, by the way. Quickly, JT, before you give your thoughts, Nick Maravette's locked on Iowa State. Please give us some reprieve on how Iowa State can win this season.
I think I
thought he nailed it. Yeah,
great stuff. Great stuff as always.
Now what, JT? Now what?
Fight him. What's so funny about this is, remember when we took the Big 12 media poll away? and then you have coaches go and do crap like this. Like, this is where it's just so crazy. And a reminder about Iowa State, by the way, they had over 50 players hit the portal. Over 15 of those were well over starters that they lost to last year. They lost pretty much everyone, and they brought in over 40 new players. This is going to be a rough rebuild.
I think they lost 21 starters.
Somebody they got Conradi. They got the kicker back.
Yeah. There you go.
Jalen Rayner. I like Jalen Rayner, the Arkansas State kid, quarterback.
Yeah, somebody's got to stand up for old Jimmy Rogers here. You know, I mean, look, here's how I look at it, Cody. He's in a no-win situation there when he's being asked that question. Now, secretly, should he have picked Iowa State? Probably not. But now I don't know how this was revealed. Do we know how it was revealed? Did he openly?
He told everyone.
It was anonymous. He should have kept it anonymous.
Yeah, came out that's a mistake.
I'm the big
maybe he really
hard that voted my team to go to the Big 12 title game when I barely have a team. I love Iowa State. I don't think I've ever said a disparaging word about anything in Cyclone country until now.
You have now, but I think there's a necessary delusion required to be a head coach. I really truly do.
Yeah,
there's a necessary delusion to it because you have to you can't buy into it. It's like rat poison. Like Saban always says, you can't buy into the hype, can't buy into the negativity. It's just one foot after the other, process oriented. I relate it to recovery. You have to wake up every day and choose not to do that thing, right? Same thing with this. It's like you wake up and choose to do the right things to win. I just think you can. That's the only thing you can control. I don't know.
Guys, we've got Oklahoma State. I'll be done after this, Parker, I promise. But we've got a multitude of projected NFL level dudes, including a projected top 10 overall pick. And I would bet you money that our coach didn't get up there and say, you know what, we're going to win the whole damn thing year one. I'm sure he thinks we have enough talent to do so, but he's probably got a little bit more of an honest bone in his body that did not vote that way. I mean, I could be wrong.
He keeps it in-house. That's how you're supposed to do it.
I would say the same delusion that Paul has here, or that Paul says here. Like, I actually think that's what most coaches would say. No, but like Willie Fritz said to On 3 at the same media days, he said part of the reason he left Tulane for Houston was for a chance to win a national championship. Yes. Houston's never played for a national championship. Like that's not
he didn't say year one. He didn't say year one.
No, but like he did say that's, and everyone kind of looked like. You left to go to Houston. And Tulane had just been in the playoffs when he said that, right? Like that, that literally just happened. And I think that kind of delusion or confidence, that's a thin line. Like I think there is some of that happening here that, frankly, he probably won a lot of, goodwill with Iowa State donors and boosters. We joke about how little of that there is, but he probably did stand on it, right?
Can I disagree? If I'm a
donor, I'm not giving that lying motherfucker money. What are you talking about?
He said trucker, by the way. He said trucker. It's very clear.
I did.
If I'm a fan, because as somebody who grew up a fan of the Arkansas Razorbacks, every coach comes in here like, we're going to full tilt boogie, we're going to hammer it down, we're going to win a national championship. And I'm like, get it out of here. I don't want that. I want somebody to walk in, no one-liners, no car salesman, just be normal. Somebody be normal. And I'm not saying, I don't want to speak on behalf of Cody and say Jimmy Rogers isn't being normal, but anonymous coaches poll where you didn't have to say that it was you who picked him first. It was a fun discussion point, by the way, of somebody picked Iowa State first. That's awesome. Only to find out it's their own coach. It ruined the whole bit.
But would it have been a worse look if someone else picked them first and he did not?
That would have been Kyle Whittingham. It'd have been such a Kyle Whittingham move. It's too bad he's gone. Rest in peace, Kyle Whittingham. You would have loved Jimmy Rogers.
MP mentioned the rap.
Did you just kill Kyle Whittingham?
In the Big 12 context.
Hey, MP mentioned the rat poison earlier. Iowa State's the one program. I don't know where they can find rat poison at. You'd have to look I couldn't find any rat poison to give Iowa State fans about why this is the type of quote that will be on freezing cold takes when they don't win a Big 12 game this season. A lot of people think they could be the worst Big 12 team, and I've even heard some say it could be the worst Power 4 team in the country. I've heard some people say that.
And that was us last year, okay? So I know what I'm looking at, dagnabbit.
That's true. And somehow you think you're going to win 8 games.
Iowa State fans, Cody Stovall just won you back. Kodnar Lothbrok just won you back because he suffered through being the worst team in the Big 12 for consecutive years.
Cody for short.
Happens to the best of us. Everything's okay. He still loves you. Don't hate Cody, please. When we come back, did the BYU athletic director not get fired? Cheers to athletic departments using their schools' forums Hell yeah, man. This is the Dos Grande squad. Hey, Papacitas and Mamacitas. Today's show is brought to you by The Game. The Game Caps is incredible because it's just your taste of vintage football. Oh, you love Oklahoma State? Great. The Game Caps. Oh, you love Houston? Bang. The Game Caps. Since 1986, The Game has been creating classic college hats for fans that are proud of their school. Wear at the airport. Wear it to your kid's game. Show it off. The Game is also celebrating its 40th anniversary by giving fans a chance to save on some of the most iconic college hats. You've been thinking about replacing an old favorite or adding a new one to your collection. Now is the perfect time. I love when you can walk down the street in Savannah, Georgia, where I live, and you see somebody in a West Virginia hat or Oklahoma State hat, in a Utah hat. You're like, yeah, hey, I'm not a fan of that team really, but I'd cover them at a show for the conference. That's awesome, man. It shows how you rep your favorite brands. With hundreds of officially licensed college hats to choose from, you'll find the perfect fit for game day and every day. Don't miss this chance to celebrate 40 years with The Game. 40% off your entire order. Visit thegamecaps.com. Use promo code Locked On at checkout. Thegamecaps.com. Promo code Locked On. Celebrate 40 years of The Game with 40% off. But don't wait. The anniversary offer won't last forever with The Game. This is a new one. BYU, months ago, joined Cougar Board, the most popular forum for BYU fans. The school joined it, just like their athletics department created an account and hopefully pays for this account, which I think is even funnier. And this week, they put it to good use when rumors swirled, and I guess swirled a little bit too much, that their athletic director, Brian Santiago, had been fired. To answer these rumors on Cougar Board, BYU, Brigham Young himself, responded in the Cougar Board chat and said, hey, guys, just kidding. Not happening. I was with him today. He's still the athletic director. This is one of the stranger things to happen in the Big 12 over the course of the offseason.
Which is saying something. That's saying a lot with everything we've had go on, by the way, too.
We've had gambling, injunctions.
We've had it's only been there for a year. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right.
This is messy anyway.
Monster.
I mean, the fact that you have to jump on an official Cougar Board to try and shoot this down. And when this hire was made, there was whispers and noise too around, hey, is this the right guy for the job? And then a year later, a rumor is this strong. You have to put something out there. I don't think everything's all hunky-dory up there. I'll say that. Obviously, he still has his job, everything. We'll see what happens. I don't think everything is all fine up there. When the noise gets this loud, I think this is a classic example of people taking a rumor and noise a little too far, but I don't think there's nothing there. Obviously, he still has a job. That's where they went too far. Things are not perfectly fine.
What would be the disgruntlement in regards to their AD? Because all of their sports are performing pretty damn well.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
what would be the hang up? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what he's done there. It's been really good, right? Kevin Young, right? Bringing him in, significant roster.
Keeping Kalani Sitake twice.
Well, and that's one where I think he gets some criticism because it almost went wrong, right? Like they had to be Kalani Sitake basically had to hold him up to make that work. And then today he was even saying, like Kalani, I shared it in our group chat. Kalani Sitake saying we're challenged with doing the most with the least, which we know that's hogwash.
Crazy, by the way. When you have Taylor Olave on your team from Cal.
That's like a Jimmy Rogers statement.
That's not going to fall. That's not going to look great on Santiago in wake of all this, right? Like it's going to be an extra thing that people had to complain about.
Hey, so change the face on that. No, change the face on that. Different Cougar.
All right, Paul. Paul's on a heater right now. Paul, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, obviously, message board rumors are something that, like, at the end of the day, the rumors. You come in and I don't know. You come in and validify those. Even though you might have quelled those rumors by doing that, like I just feel like it threw gasoline on the flame, especially when people shared it to social media and it got literally millions and millions of hits. So now your associate AD has to come out and John McBride and do that. It's just crazy. And the fact that it's the associate AD made people like perk their ears up, like, why is it not Santiago himself? It's just weird, obviously the way they I don't know the right word for it. Maybe JT or somebody can help me, but like the way they punish people around there is a little different. I don't know if he wasn't able to speak for himself or what, if he's like on some kind of shut up So it's a weird situation all the way around. Obviously love that place down there and they're up there. And it's just, this is a weird one, man. Especially only been on the job for a year. I think it's crazy, but you Cody nailed it. You have to look at what's happening on the field and on the basketball court. It's as good as it gets in the country right now. So,
the sales pitch was we were going to bring in a guy named AJ DeBonso that's good enough to be the number one overall pick. We brought in a guy named AJ DeBonso who ended up being good enough to be worthy of the number one overall pick. And their football team is remarkable. They've been robbed out of the CFP for at least one of the last 2 years. You could say both. Their men's basketball team played pretty damn well, even when they had some major injuries. I just don't see how you could hold it against them other than what you just mentioned, the Kalani sweepstakes to some degree, maybe getting a little bit out of hand. But at the end of the day, they won, and they won over true blue blood programs that they are not.
And I would point out that it doesn't feel like the success athletically is slowing down. It certainly feels like a program that is able to spend a lot of money. I don't guess we know because it's a private school, the numbers in quite the same way. And I think that my thing is, like Paul said, it's only been a year, right? And so my thought is like, if it's been a year, honestly, you'd have to point to like a glaring, gigantic mistake or scandal to me.
Right.
And I don't see where that is. Things are trending in the right direction. If this had been 10 years and it was too stagnant or whatever, totally different story. It feels like it's been a really good 18 months for them.
I talked to a source.
They're treating him like he brought Sam Levitt back.
I talked to a source I trusted earlier. He said things aren't all perfect up there. And I think you guys did a great job of saying, hey, on the surface, everything looks fine. But that's where there's things on us behind closed doors that we don't know. How exactly is the cake being baked, right? Is this sustainable year after year? Can we keep doing it this way? BYU is winning. They're having a ton of success. But it's also a fact. It's hard to replace a really great AD. Tom Homo was a great AD. Now we're seeing Santiago. Even when he was brought on, as I said, there were people who never loved it. So you could also say, hey, have there people always been against him, not give him a fair shake? That could be fair too. This is what we just talked about, though. Everything doesn't seem perfectly fine up there, despite the success. Winning doesn't always cure everything.
This is my own ignorance, though, JT, and I assume that at BYU they'd probably be looking for someone of the faith to be the AD. I don't. Maybe that's a bad assumption. Is there a great candidate out there that I'm missing that would be an immediate replacement?
A lot of them wanted Danny Ainge. A lot of smoke and mirrors around Danny Ainge, and so
is this really more about Ainge being available? Is that maybe the key, right?
What I think, what I've heard quite a bit is that you're not going to make everybody happy. And anytime you make a coaching change, an AD change, half your donor base is like, well, I don't love that. And it doesn't make them idiots. It doesn't make the AD idiots. We all are human beings with opinions. I mean, and somebody wanted Danny Ainge and was pushing for Danny. They probably like, hey, I donated millions of dollars. Hire my guy. It happens everywhere. Right. I think this is just another, hey, so-and-so puts a spark out there that he's been fired. No, he hasn't been fired. But that spark just grows and grows and grows till it. And I, as somebody who's been around Santiago now and Homo more than Santiago, but both those guys, man, are bulldogs. Like they are bulldogs. To win in college athletics, you have to be. Not everybody's going to like that. Homo in retirement, he's the Hawaiian shirt guy. He's like, hey, guys, I was just a bulldog because I had to be. Like, I'm actually a really fun guy. I think Santiago would be the same way. You just got a role to fulfill. And it's the same reason that, like, Coach Gary Patterson, I think we all got to see a different side of him through hosting podcasts and TV shows and stuff the last year. Like, wait a second, I thought he was asshole. And then you're like, oh, no. Turns out he's like nice old guy grandpa. Like, I think people just don't understand the athletic director has a role to serve.
Guys, BYU potentially having some problems behind closed doors is really hard to soak in as a conference.
So
there's no way Danny Ainge wants anything to do with college athletics right now. That's just
that was going to be my thing. Are they trying to do an NBA front office now? Is that what this is? They're trying to
Kevin Young and Danny
Ainge together.
Well, that's Paul. You alluded to it. You alluded to the fact that Santiago is the guy that brought Kevin Young in. Like that's the connection.
Yeah, it's a connection. As well as like, I was thinking like, so is this now their version of the Texas Tech Roundtable the social media on the message board post.
That's nowhere near as bad. Nowhere near as bad. Nowhere.
If BYU puts out a 20-minute podcast, with bad jump cuts that they're keeping him, he's fired.
Some of the Cody Campbell comments during that whole saga, I mean, we're talking all-time bad stuff.
Didn't age well.
All-time.
Didn't age well.
Brian Santiago, Tom Homo, moderated by Drake Toll.
Yes!
Pro Paul will be there. Don't lie to yourself. He'll be there.
Pro Paul.
Hey,
Pro
Drake.
Paul.
Drake, you know what else isn't going to age well? Jimmy Rogers.
The head coach of the Iowa State Cyclones. He's Codnar Lofbrock of all Iowa State. Locked on Oklahoma State. Park Grainsworth of Locked on Kings. Mountaineer Paul of Locked on West Virginia. And J2 Westersill of Locked on Youth. This has been and always will be. Thanks for making our shows your first listen every single day. The Dos Grande Squad. Paul?
For the daggone Mountaineers, as always, bub.